Welcome back, listeners. This is the Hit Pause Podcast, episode number 117. You are here with your hosts. My name is Ayman.
And I'm David.
This is the podcast where we give you all of your YouTube recommendations for the week, and I believe we have some good ones this week. I mean, I've got a good one. Do you have a good one?
I love how you say that every time, but no clue what I've got. I could have terrible. But,
maybe.
No, I'm happy. I'm happy with it.
I don't endorse David's recommendations, okay?
So what? You
if
just
they
cut
suck,
me out of
it's
the
nothing
episode.
If they suck, it's nothing to do with me. Yeah, maybe I should. I just cut you out. To be a one-person podcast talking to myself. So before we get to the channels of the week, so for me, I've chosen Max Derrat, who does some I'm gonna call them video essays. That makes them sound boring, but like he talks about interesting topics in relation to like media.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's your pick for the week?
I struggled, and you know what? This channel is more of a shout out rather than I've been watching them all this week. Mm-hmm. So the channel's called North Borders.
North Borders.
And yeah, it's a guy called Mike, and he basically is a photographer, and his videos are not all about, get this camera gear, but just, just how he takes it as an art form and takes us on the ride.
Okay, nice. That's pretty good. So before we get to the channels of the week, though, let's go over how much YouTube we've watched, as well as a few individual video recommendations. So, David, how many hours of YouTube did you watch in the last week?
I've watched 13 hours.
13. Okay, not bad. I have seen 22 hours, 46 minutes. So almost 23 there. Pretty good. Pretty good going. But yeah, I have been watching a lot. But before we actually get into the videos, I wanted to talk about a bit of an update. I'm going to call this news. But YouTube have updated the app. Okay, so I'm on Android. I assume they've made the change on iOS as well. They have removed the Explore button from the bottom. So, do you know, previously it had like Home, Explore, creating a video, the little plus icon, subscriptions, and library.
Oh, you're right. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. They have replaced it with Shorts. That's how hard they're going on Shorts. It's now a main button in the UI, right at right in that bottom bar where they want it to get more clicks. So you get to the Explore using, a while back they on the homepage they added like filters at the top. So for topics, or not topics, but categories that you enjoy, they added those links at the top so you could quickly go to one of those. I have never ever used them, by the way. And they've added this new button right at the top left, which is Explore. And that's what you click now to go to Explore, which is really interesting because, that's not as good of a place. It's much harder to see. It's much harder to click, so they really are focusing on this Shorts thing. And I don't know, man. I mean, it's... When
they try. But in dumb ways.
They really are going for it. So, okay... I don't like Shorts. I don't like them. But I will say I'm not against the concept. It's just they're not good on YouTube. Like Shorts,
its placement is not good enough.
So the Shorts on YouTube are either really just shitty content or reposts from TikTok, which.
Yep.
Okay, fine. That doesn't make it automatically bad, but it's not original content, and I don't want to watch TikTok in my YouTube app, which is like go on Shorts right now and scroll through. They all have the TikTok logo on. 90% of them have that TikTok logo. And
it goes straight to a short, not even like a UI in itself of like, these are the.
Well, to be honest, I wouldn't want it to have a. I wouldn't want a.
Like
UI
a category
anyway.
Section or anything.
Yeah, I do want it to just go straight in. So.
And it's just tailored to what it thinks I like.
Basically, yeah. Like TikTok. I like that it jumps straight in. But the thing
Yeah.
is, the shorts, they're just not quality enough. That it's just reposts from TikTok, and for them to then put it so front and center, it's just like it's just
you
it just
do
looks
that after
bad.
it's refined.
It's so
to
weak.
a point. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the thing is, though, on the other hand, you could say, oh, well, they're never going to get better if nobody's using it, right? If creators aren't getting views and click-throughs and all that stuff,
It'll wither
off
away
them,
like
then
YouTube Red.
exactly. So why would they bother creating good, decent content? Let's just throw some reposts from TikTok on there and whatever, be done with it. But the thing is, that's not. So it's kind of tricky. It's like, which comes first, the good front and center UX or the quality content? It's kind of tricky. But right now, having it so front and center is just an embarrassment, in my opinion, for YouTube.
I was gonna say, like, does anyone really, really use their upload or video button? But then I clicked on it, and now it's like got a create a short option.
Yeah, and you know something? You can actually. There's also a new feature. I've only seen it on occasional videos, but there's this create button now on some videos, and that create button basically gives you the audio it gives you the audio from the video you're watching, and it lets you make a new video, on top of that audio, just like TikTok. So I don't know if that, like I said, it's intermittent and it comes and goes. So I'm sure it's just in experiment, but it's pretty interesting. But and then as well, they've got the clips feature as well, which has been rolling out, kind of like Twitch, where you can just cut out up to 30 seconds, I think it is. So they're clearly really just desperate to push it, but it's so weak right now.
Yeah,
basically.
they should have made it separate, like YouTube Music, just YouTube Shorts, just have its own app. Maybe it would have done better. Who knows?
I kind of agree with you, but right now I don't know, man. Maybe they should just do some AI and search for the TikTok like symbol on it and just
remove it,
disallow anything that's been reposted from TikTok.
Yeah.
But
like you're never gonna see a classic original viral YouTube short. It would have come from just a repost.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, okay, we'll be done with this in a sec. But my last point is, back in the day when we got into TikTok for a little while and we were both watching a lot, I remember us saying, I love TikTok because I just open it up. I don't need to find a video. It's just, quick, boom, 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 boom. Good recommendations from small channels, big channels, and, and it learns over time and it's just like super easy to consume content. And we did say YouTube needs something like that. And I do agree, but this is exactly that. Like I don't know. I feel like they could do something better. Maybe you would only have shorts that are clips from actual YouTube videos, I could imagine that.
Yeah, but then it's not in portrait mode.
Yeah, now that's true. Yeah, but I don't know, something like that, that is kind of saying, hey, here's a little bit of content related to the video I just posted.
Yeah.
Watch this and then, get creators more views through to the main video, where you can watch that like proper video that's, got good editing and all that stuff. I don't know. Maybe not cut out from the actual videos, but maybe, linked. Like you say, oh, this is linked to this other one, you click it and you get the full screen thing.
That would have been a good idea to make it like a like after you're done with your video, this is like the new thing of like how to get more, but like in small nuggets.
This is like right now, this is a TikTok clone
wannabe,
a standalone TikTok clone wannabe within the existing YouTube app. It's like it's not even connected. It's not connected to YouTube. It's not part of YouTube. It just jammed it in there into the same app. It's like, well, why? Like you said, why not just make it separate? If you're not going to bother integrating it or making it part of the YouTube ecosystem, then why bother?
Oh no, I clicked on 3 and now it's in my history. Oh, and it takes up so much space.
It goes in the history.
Yeah.
Oh.
All of them.
The shorts right at the top, they go in your history. Yeah, it has its own section. So that's new as well. I mean, whatever.
Anyway, it's not a shorts episode, but
it's clearly not going away anytime soon.
I liked Explore more than you did, obviously, but I put 5 buttons at the bottom. That's not fair. I'm actually I do go to a lot when my homepage is terrible.
Fair enough. I mean, it's still there at the top, but it's definitely
too far. It's too far.
It is, though. It kind of is. It's also actually interesting what will happen to the Explore page, because it's going to get fewer views coming on there. It's going to mean less. I don't know how much of an impact it'll have, but I'm sure it will mean fewer views via that Explore page. But I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Okay, let's go to some choice videos of the week. What you go first, David? You go first.
So have you heard of the channel World Chase Tag?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so you know the game of tag, right?
Right.
Yeah, so this is like this would have been my channel of the week, but it's like a perfect arena of like tables and obstacles, and it's like a team of 5 versus another team of 5, and it's just like you got to tag them in like, I forget what the time is. Let's say a minute or something. It's probably 30 seconds, and they're all like, all the teams, like this is what they do. They're so talented in terms of like dodging and using the obstacles to their advantage, as well as the person who's chasing. It's parkour and very intense.
Okay.
And there's not a video you will pick and be like, oh, that wasn't that didn't hit my adrenaline. But like every video is just perfection in terms of like high speed crazy chasing.
So wait, how does it work? They do tag in different countries.
Well, I don't know if it's in different. I know it's called World Chase Tag, like it's a World Cup, but I think they just like, let's just take that as a title. But it's held in like a place where I guess teams from maybe across the world come for tournaments. And
and they're like going, and there's like obstacles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've not seen this channel, but I've seen that before.
You've probably seen some shorts of
pro tag or whatever. That's it's crazy. It's like it's parkour basically.
Yeah, and it's like, it's not easy. Like there's no way an average person comes, and like some of the bars, imagine like a railing that goes down your like steps in a park or something. Like some people go through the gaps to get an extra inch to be able to like tag somebody.
Really?
And like I'm surprised there isn't more injuries, at least than they show us. But and we're talking up for this channel specifically, like some videos get up to like 40 million. Obviously, they post quite a lot, and it is a bit more of the same if you don't know the team. So some are in the Ks, but still, like, just picking a random video and just being like invested in, like, holy crap, like, it's pretty good.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Good rush.
It's kind of very niche, but I will say, having seen some clips of it, they are really good. It's just insane, like how they move and the athleticism of it is just crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what? They don't put GoPros on them, which I'm a bit surprised by. But at least for like replays and stuff. But yeah, it's all just shot from the overview.
Interesting. I want to see that. I want to see the GoPro. That would go viral. What the hell?
Yeah.
Somebody do that. Okay, so the first on my list is a channel we talked about many times before, or several times before, Joel Haver. So Joel Haver, he's a comedy skits channel that blew up quite recently and just did really well. He does those like kind of low budget animations a lot, which are his biggest videos. But he posted a video. He's going on the road. He bought a van. And he bought a van and he's going to go travel the country. He's still going to make videos. He still says, I'm still going to be doing a weekly upload. But yeah, he's just going to do it from the road now. And it was kind of sad. Like he does very kind of heartfelt videos quite often, but it was very sad watching him say goodbye to his friend. His friend is named Trent Lankarski. He also has his own channel, but you may have seen him in some of his videos. He's like the tall guy, but those two have such a good back and forth. Like it's so, I don't know, it's so deadpan, and Trent himself is just a hilarious guy. Just the way he talks is so deadpan, almost bored, but it just fits. I don't know, it just fits so perfectly. But he's not going with him, so it's kind of, I don't know what the content, what Joel's content is going to be like from now on from the road. But it's a shame that he won't be making stuff with Trent anymore, or at least not in the same way. They might do like remote stuff, they mentioned. But yeah, it's pretty, I don't know, it's pretty cool because he had this plan. Joel did. He said, I'm going to live at home for a while, but I really want to get a van and travel the country. So I'm going to be working at this YouTube stuff. Hopefully it does okay. But, I'll buy a cheap van in a year's time and then I'll go travel. And it's like his channel absolutely blew up. But he's like, I'm so happy that it blew up. My plan hasn't changed. The only thing that changed is I bought a nicer van than I expected. So it's cool to see that even though he exploded and is doing super well, he's still kind of doing what he wants to do. Because I could imagine, it blew up and you think, oh, you know what? I'm not going to go traveling because I'm going to focus on the YouTube channel and all that. And then down the line, you regret it and you think, I wish I had done that. That was my dream or whatever. So it's kind of, I'm really happy for him that he's stuck to it and is still gonna go travel. So yeah, pretty cool. Okay, who's next on your list? What's your next?
So this is like a video by a channel called PPBS Terror. But ignore the channel because, well, actually, if you're interested into like documentaries, I guess, on like animal IQs and just like it's a bit of a science channel. However, the video that I found was what do you eat in Antarctica? And because this research team are like based in Antarctica and like a lot of their research are like seals and otters and so on, this video was a lot different from all the other videos on their channel, but it was just kind of covering just like how I think there's like maybe 250 staff, how in a place where, there's nothing grows, no food grows there, like penguins regurgitate their food to feed their young, and like birds eat dead seals. Like it's a crazy place there. So in a place like that, how do they manage to feed the staff? And yeah, I just found it very like interesting how they go into like I don't know, gathering food 18 months in advance, for example, ignoring expiration dates, like anything they get, they freeze it and it's good to go. And like how they have to sometimes heat their freezer to defrost certain things, and like the whole process, like the kitchen staff, they should be on crazy salaries for the amount of like management that they do, because really? it's sometimes it's not even about the cooking of the food, it's about having food in the first place. And it's just a very good video piece, I think, on like how they managed to do it.
That's super interesting, actually. It's so like nobody can copy that channel. Nobody can copy that channel.
Exactly.
It's like, it's so one of a kind. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, the next I had was Alpha Phoenix, who is actually also a science channel. He basically works in a lab and does videos, around the lab about stuff in there, but also just does various technical videos. Like, he makes a simulation, he makes a snake AI, he shows some things about atoms in metals and how that works. But the one that got me was this video called Airtight versus Vacuum Tight. He's quite a small channel. He's only 80k subs, and this is 400k views. But he's obviously really smart guy. But he showed this big machine in his lab. I've got no idea what it does. It's some super vacuum machine, and he's just talking about how it works and what the process is to find a leak in the machine. And it's crazy because he's like, okay, you can make something airtight, fine, but to make something vacuum tight, like it's on another level. They're literally measuring the molecules present in the gas in the air coming out of it, and it's absolutely crazy process to try and do it. Like do you know what a gasket is? It's like a rubber seal.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's coming to me.
Yeah, it's like a rubber seal you would use to make something airtight or watertight. They don't, because those just aren't good enough for the level of pressure that comes into these things. They have to use metal gasket. Like they have copper gaskets, these circles, and then they just tighten it down so hard that the metal itself gets squished, and that's what creates the seal. Yeah, it's crazy. It's super interesting, but he does a lot of sciencey kind of videos, and he's just, charismatic and explains stuff kind of well. Some can be boring, but I recommend that one, which I'll link in description as always. But yeah.
Nice. I mean, my video is just such an opposite to this. This is just a random video I saw on a news channel of, I think, I'm trying to actually find this, a woman in, what state was it? Can't find it. Shorts have taken away my history. But it's basically a woman who just comes out and like shoots robbers that enter her, I think it's her house. I can't tell if it's her store. I think, so it was in Georgia. That was it. And robbers just like are shown in her like camera in her kitchen of them coming in. It was like 4 of them. And they all come in, and they do have weapons as well. And then, like, she wakes up and then just immediately just starts opening fire and taking them out. The robbers try to run away. One actually dies. It was like it was a New York news channel, but it's the comment section. The comment section is nothing but praise, and it's actually hilarious. So I was gonna read a couple. So like one of the comments is like, robbers enter the house, and then still robbers, why do we hear boss music? Oh man. And the thing is, it's like she comes out, and then like later the husband does, and it's like rubbing his eyes, and it's like one of the comments is like the husband comes out like, damn, what's all that ruckus? It's like you missed life threatening situations and you're coming out of bed, just all stumble.
What's going on?
But yeah, no, credit to this woman. Obviously, we live in England, don't have this gun drama, but to know that armed robbers are coming in and you made it out okay, and on top of that, showed them who's boss, nothing but respect. But yeah, I'll put the video in the description, but it's the comment section.
Damn, yeah, nice. Okay, so the last video recommendation before we get to channels of the week is, so I mentioned a few episodes back Patrick McHale, who's an animator, and he did this show Over the Garden Wall, which was out, I don't know, maybe around, what, do you know it?
No, I think we mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Did I? Yeah. But anyway, I've watched the show, and it's like amazing. I absolutely love it and highly recommend it. It's only 10 episodes. They're only 10 minutes each. But yeah, absolutely just fantastic. The animation, the music, the story, the characters, just so good. And it's quite like a deep show. And I decided to watch a bunch of, iceberg videos. Have you heard of these iceberg videos?
No.
So the iceberg for different things, different media, it'll either be like games or movies or just different universes and different topics. And the iceberg is basically theories about that thing going down from, you know, top of the iceberg, which is above water, and it's like a very, you know, easily provable, obvious, or, you know, not out there theory at all. You know, like if we were talking about the world, it'd be like gravity, you know?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then as you get deeper in the iceberg, the theories are more and more like outlandish, you know, until you get like deep in the iceberg and it's, say, you know, flat earth or lizard people even lower. And there's all these ones for different things. So there's, you know, Minecraft one. I watched a bunch of Minecraft ones. There's ones for Dark Souls. There's ones for everything basically, but there's some for this show Over the Garden Wall. And I was watching some of those, and as well watching some like theory videos. And basically in these iceberg videos, they just go through the list. It's such easy content for them, but it's also really interesting and good. So like, I've got no problem with it. But they just go through and say, oh, this theory is, you know, it's about this. This is based on this. It seems pretty weak in my opinion, whatever. Next one. Yeah, so there's a few channels that were doing this stuff, and I'll link to their videos on Over the Garden Wall. But there was Hole in My Garden, who's really small, like less than 2K subs. So, you know, respect, and is making good content. There was another one called Nicktendo, who...
Genius name.
Yeah, who did some of them as well. And then finally there's, and he's only 170K subs, but then there's Dr. Skipper, who I would say is my favorite. So Dr. Skipper, he's basically, his avatar is like this big bird. I want to say pelican, maybe. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it's a pelican. And yeah, he's just got a really good voice and has just put together his videos really well. But he did a very recent one. He's only got 40K subs, so still relatively small. But he's been doing a lot of iceberg videos. Clearly he's getting clicks from them, but he's done like 3-4 in the past 2 months. No, 5 in the past 2 months. So, you know, he's clearly getting clicks from them. Like I said, it's good content, so I don't no shade. Like I get it, fair enough. And I like watching those videos, so fair enough. And yeah, he basically did a Over the Garden Wall one, and it was really interesting. So I'm gonna put his video in the description as well. But I recommend watching some of his other stuff because small channel, got to support the small creators, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my last one is, again, the very opposite. I'm talking about like the big celebrities here. There's a channel called The Hollywood Reporter. They do a bunch of stuff, but, you know, I don't really care for that. But the one category they do is their actors roundtable. So there's 2 videos. One is like just, you know, your actors, and then there's another one for comedian/comedic actors. So you got like Shia LaBeouf, Robert De Niro, Tom Hanks, Jamie Foxx, all in the table, and the interviewer, I guess, or maybe the chair, that's just leading the conversation. It's like, it's really well done. Like they're actually, for that many people, you know, with that such of a status, or just talking about like some of the work they've done, just their normal lives in general, like, you know, from where they came to now, their opinions on different things. It's actually very, at least I found it very interesting to listen to. Then you got the comedians as well, like Jim Carrey, Sacha Cohen.
Sacha Baron
Yeah, just like all, just talk about, again, some of the stuff they've done and like the controversies they've had along the way, and like a lot of behind the scenes that you wouldn't think would have happened just going into just your everyday comedy movie. But yeah, just that, like an hour long, but yeah, definitely recommend. Like, very insightful.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, that takes us to our channels of the week. Shall I go first this time? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, no, you can go.
Okay, so my channel of the week is Max Derrat, who's 190K subs, and his tagline is "Stay Yellow." By the way, I have no idea why. I don't. His avatar is like a kind of a Simpsons character with yellow skin. I don't know if that's why, but I don't know. He makes videos about religion and art and philosophy and alchemy. He's basically a scholar who talks about these like concepts in relation to popular media. So he'll go over like TV shows or movies and things, but he also does a lot on video games. And he'll go and say, use the game or the use the media as a jumping off point to talk about some of these other really interesting concepts. So, for example, he's done a lot of videos on Metal Gear Solid, which, as we all know, is like a very complicated story and it's like a lot of depth to it and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And he talks about how Metal Gear Solid 2 was really talking about like fake news and the false media and all that stuff, like 10 years ahead of its time, But another one that he really enjoys covering is Silent Hill. So inspired by him, I actually played through Silent Hill, the original, like PS1 version, recently.
As in you did?
Yeah, I did. Just kind of inspired by him, and it was, damn. I mean, even with like the PS1 graphics, the mood it gives is so good and so well done. Like it's spooky. It's quite a scary game, even with that. But it just adds to it being kind of shitty graphics and stuff. But anyway, and he'll talk about the game and then go into theories about how it was inspired by Jung's philosophy, right? And then talks about it like that, which is really awesome. He said before, loads of these like video games and TV shows and things have concepts from philosophy and literature that are really in depth and scholarly, but if you put it to a young person like that, they're going to be like, yeah, I want to learn about Jung's philosophy. Like that sounds boring. But if you put it with, I want to learn about Jung's philosophy in relation to Silent Hill or Bloodborne or Metal Gear or something, it's like, okay, suddenly this is a lot more like interesting and relatable. And so I think that's kind of his goal. But regardless of all of that, he just makes super interesting, in-depth lore videos about various games and other media. Really just highly recommend. I've been watching a lot of his videos and they're just all super interesting. And he usually doesn't do crazy long ones either, which is quite nice because a lot of this type of content tends to be really, really long. But he'll do, he'll do 15, 20 minutes on a topic, which is, a lot more eatable, devourable. What are they thinking of? I don't know. I mean, besides that, he also has some videos that are about different mental health topics and autism. He said himself that he's on the autism spectrum. So he kind of talks about that stuff as well. But I can't say I'm too interested in those videos. I haven't really watched those one too much, but maybe you are. But so I really recommend Max Derrat. Excellent channel and good stuff.
Yeah, and especially like when you bring up like the Silent Hill franchise, like some of those games, like I played Downpour and Homecoming, maybe Shattered Memories as well.
No,
like
those aren't the good ones though.
So they say. However, there's lore in all of them, and you gotta love the idea of like what is behind some of those games. Like take the game part away. It's like they're very, very intellectual. Like what goes into it. So
exactly. And it's down. I love these games and lore, just things with lore where they just don't, everything there can be explained, but they don't outright explain it. I just love that. And Silent Hill is a really good example of that. But highly recommend.
Oh, will do. North Borders. So it's a channel that, again, like I mentioned, it's like a bit of a shout out. Like, not that I've watched a lot of videos this week, but probably in the last year, definitely, especially between my brother and I. We've watched a lot from him. So he's a guy from, I think, Melbourne, but yeah, Australia. And yeah, it's just a guy who pretty much likes taking photos. Like, that's what makes him happy. But yeah, it's just, like, there's a lot of photography channels out there, from like the big ones of Peter McKinnon to like to smaller channels that are just starting and like going out there and like trying to show you how to edit. He's definitely in the middle, and he's definitely down to earth and very relatable. He's very funny, and what makes it good is there's like four friends, I guess, in total. So it's him, it's a guy called Hayden, another channel called Seventh Era, and they all have like, you know, between like 500 to 1 mil subs. And seeing them go out, especially in the locations that you've got in Australia, and like giving each other challenges in terms of like, use this prop and like make the best photo possible out of it. That's always like very interesting to see, like what they work with, because they've been doing this for a while. Like, yeah, it's like, it's very, very creative, and they do other stuff of like, depending on how much money they make from like YouTube that month, they'll spend it on drinks and basically do a live stream of like editing fan submission photos.
Oh, no way. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is pretty nice, because like most of their money it comes from like, you know, their Lightroom presets, or working for like taking, you know, photography shots for like BMW or Porsche or something like that. So like YouTube isn't the main income, so it's a good way to give back in a way. But yeah, I think it's the style of the video, so I'll obviously put a couple in the description, but it's just how he puts it together. It's like, even if you're not into photography, it's always like, you know, like the Grand Tour, which used to be Top Gear, of like, even if you're not into cars, it's good to see how they do a challenge and get to the end of it. It's definitely, just kind of glad that I stumbled upon the channel, because like whenever they post, and that's amongst all the friends, it's like always a good one to see. And like, kind of, cool. If you are into photography, kind of just makes you like go out there and like have a different perspective on like all the buildings you look at, like, that would be a good shot, or if I did it this way, that would actually be so much better.
Damn, that's actually really cool. Yeah, because it's so I like that they kind of, it sounds like like you said, he's very relatable and everything, and it's not just, oh, here's what I do. It's like, it shows you the process and everything, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's not like it's like a lifestyle channel rather than like reviewing, like you know, exactly, or a tutorial on how to use Lightroom or anything like that. It's it's like, if you're into photography, and I know, you know, here at the Hip Pause, we like to cover every category there is on YouTube, just in case you were one of those. Like, this is definitely it's one that motivates you if you're taking photos yourself.
Oh, okay, nice. I like that. I really like that. You know what I'm always impressed with these guys is they just go out on the streets and use their big cameras and everything. Just don't hold back. No shyness or anything like that. Whenever I go out with my like full size camera, I'm like, you know, I don't want to take pictures of people because I feel embarrassed, and
I know what you mean. Yeah,
like you need to ask permission or something. Yeah,
but they make Australia seem like everyone's a nice person, like everyone is approachable and wants a photo. Do that in London? I don't know.
I don't know if it'll be the same. Yeah, it's true. But yeah, okay, that's a good one. I like that. Definitely nice to have some recommendations from that like area, because we don't always have that many. But yeah, I mean, you know, from like a different genre completely. That's cool. Okay, shall we wrap it up there then? Thank you all for listening. All of the links, as usual, will be in the description. You can also follow us on iTunes, your podcasting app of choice, or whatever, or YouTube. We're also posting on YouTube now. So thank you all for listening. We will see you next Tuesday.
See ya.